Hi, everybody. Sorry, no, it's an odd time of day to pop on and do this live, but it's the time I have, so here we go. Um, yeah, we didn't get to do it on the moon last night, but that's okay. So these energies are definitely going to be continuing to be felt for a few. Turn this down a little bit. A few days for sure. It's not a super moon or anything, but we definitely are really going to feel these energies. So let's take a look at my notes really quick and just say what this moon is about. Um, it's in Virgo. Virgo, we tend to, Virgos tend to have that. They're the list makers and the, uh, detailing everything. So, um, yeah. And the overall theme of this moon that I'm picking up is just every once in a while we go into these pockets of time where it's been really intense and really busy, energy wise, and that isn't to say it's not crazy energy right now coming in with all the solar flares and things. And again, solar flares are just like that energy coming from the central sun through the sun to help us upgrade. So there's been, record X class flares last week and this week. So, in fact, I think I saw there was an X6, which is the highest value we've had in this solar cycle. So, um, yeah, it's definitely, this is an ongoing theme throughout this year. Anyway, this moon feels like it's a time for us to be reflective, which is what I call the title of this reflection time period of time. It always seems, we seem to get a little like it's a little downtime to process everything every once in a while. I'm guessing that's because as we get closer through March to the beginning of April and an eclipse season begins, that so this energy will help carry us, uh, just in able to like give us a bit of a rest period. But it's a good time to do some reflection. And again, it's, the themes are also with Virgo: grounding, earthing, self-care, organization, practicality. Like, where can you make things in your life work better for you, more practical, attention to the details. And a really big thing on this one is healing, cleansing, and purifying again. So, still working on those lists of what no longer serves us. What do we want more of in our lives? But it's feeling definitely like a healing moon. And there's still lots of emphasis on this balance between the masculine and feminine energies, particularly within. So that's kind of an interesting thing that being asked to kind of examine uh, and look at. So yeah, just it feels like I saw somewhere it says this is a time for us to shake free the heaviness. So like this last little intense energy push has been really predominant and been, for some of us, it's been really difficult, right? Heavy, just lots to do, feeling heavy, that kind of thing. So it looks like we're heading into a bit of a reprieve. So we'll see what the cards have to say, but make sure you take advantage of that. I also saw there was a quote on one that said, "Farewell to overthinking, hello to more peace and clarity." So that might be a good mantra for the next couple weeks until the new moon and we see what's going on there. All right, let's check in with the cards for this moon and see what they gotta say. Ooh, that one jumped right out. Oh, that's so funny. It's a full moon in Virgo. It's like this moon is about exactly this. Oh, okay. I feel like I want to take both of those. Let's see. Oh, I took 3. Okay. So up first, this is the one that just jumped out, and it is the full moon in Virgo. You are good enough. Yeah, that's interesting. A lot of when I was like doing my notes, it was coming up about, you know, some of the lists about self care and self worth and all of these things. So, really starting to examine these in our lives right now. So make sure you are grounding and taking care of yourself, and making lists of how you can have more of that in your life, more self-care, that kind of thing. So yeah, very interesting. Okay. Then we have a personal issue reaches resolution. Full moon in Cancer. Another full moon card. So Cancer too. It feels like this moon is going to be, besides being reflective and contemplative, there's definitely going to be some emotional, charge to it. A lot of us might be feeling a little sad and stuff right now, and just letting those emotions, wash through us, work through us, and then, farewell, farewell to those. And the last one is show the world the real you. Full moon in Aquarius. So those are good to have. So we got 3 full moon cards, which rarely happens when you pull these cards. You usually get a mix and a match of new moon and full moon, and the rest of the other good ones that we have. And those are some good signs. Aquarius is really prominent right now with everything, all the planets slowly starting to move into that. And yeah, I'm just getting it, like, definitely take this 2-week period up till the next moon. So the new moon coming up. I don't even know what it's in yet, but, and just really lots of reflection, lots of looking at where we want to go again. We're making sure we're keeping that list in check, and that we're following the best way we can to get ourselves there, right? The personal issue reaching resolution, I think that's probably, like, a lot of us are going through this. I don't want to call it like the dark night of the soul, but there's a lot of questioning about everything right now, which is what is supposed to be happening. We're supposed to be examining the way that we have been. All this kind of disclosure is coming up to show us how things have really been, and it's a tough integration into like changing your entire belief system, right? So really just taking the time in this 2 weeks to work on that every day. Yeah. Okay. Let's see what else we got here. The theme of this moon, and then we'll get into the 2 advice cards. And I was gonna do. I always do 1 card at the beginning, but I'll do that on the week read. Yeah, interesting. Okay, so first up, we got the Chess Queen, which is truth and strategizing. That's really interesting because, that's part of what we need to be doing right now, is like strategizing about, with all the new information coming in that we're getting, and all our new intuition and all of that coming in. We don't just have to, like, open ourselves to these gifts and then and just let them kind of willy-nilly hang around and see what they bring. We want to actively be working on developing all of that and integrating it into our daily life and our body. So yeah, really taking the time this moon to reflect and to and get your lists done. Strategize what the future looks like for you. We also got the Wise Woman of Wonderland, which is really interesting. It's kind of reference to Alice. Integrity and compromise. Interesting. That one's kind of got me a little baffled, I gotta say. Yeah, I mean, really, integrity is just the part where it's like making sure, as we're doing all this reflection, dreaming, planning, that we're staying true to ourselves, right? We're keeping our true the integrity of who we are, our true self, our true nature, and we're not deflecting from that. We're being exactly who we are. What did that say? Uh, Show the world the real you. So that's kind of an interesting thought too. It's like, sorry, um, show the world the real you, and coming up with integrity is, it's almost like it's very much asking us to make sure we are living in integrity, and we're not compromising. I think that was a uh, we're not compromising in order to like fit in or dulling our light. You know, we're just out there being our authentic, true self and shining that out. Um, but part of that reflection piece is of this moon then is make sure you know who you are, right? So like again, that's like doing the lists of what no longer serves. Um, and that's just not events and people and places and things in your life. It's like it's you as well. Like what habit do you have with yourself that is no longer serving you? Like when the overthinking thing, that can be the prime thing. You know, I'm my own worst enemy. I am. I can make things like up that are going wrong that aren't going that isn't going wrong at all. Like even today, I have this list of chores. It's a list of chores that I have made for myself, and then now I'm berating myself because I'm not getting it done because I just need a day of like rest and ease and grace and and I have little motivation, and it's like the only person getting mad at me over not getting this stuff done is me. So, like, why am I doing that to myself? Yeah, I have to look at that, right? That's definitely what this moon's definitely bringing that up for me. It's like, uh, why am I putting so much pressure on myself? Does it matter if the floors don't get vacuumed today and it happens tomorrow? Not really. So, anyway, just just really looking, it's really, this is a really inner reflection moon for sure. So we did aptly name this reading. The last card that comes up for this moon is the Rainbow Prince, which is compensation and perseverance. So that's just the universe giving us that little pat and saying, hey, you guys are doing a good job. The benefits are about to, like, of all your hard work, the fruits of our labor are about to be presented to us. So don't give up, keep persevering. um, we're almost there, like we're so close, right? um, so yeah, just keeping that in mind, taking a nice big breath, and just knowing deep down that everything's going to be okay. Yeah, like even this week, I did another, like, I've been putting my phone down the minute I get home. I've barely looked at it this week. So, and that includes like text conversations, that includes like looking at social media. I just haven't been interested and needed a break from it, to be honest. Yeah, and that's okay to do. And it's like, and if these outages that have been happening are any indication, if things are going to go down at some point, I'm prepared. I got lots of books to read, lots of books that I've never read that need to get read. Okay. Okay. I always love when these come when words come up more than once in the cards. So it's pretty much it's pretty much saying, confirmation. Okay, first up is process your feelings. Yeah, a little bit of what we've been talking about is make sure that, again, that all those things that have been not serving us are dealt with, and that, we're feeling those feelings, and we're clearing and cleansing that energy and the heaviness so that we can move forward. It's actually interesting, this card, it's got the two wolves on it there, but it says howl at the moon. So maybe we just all need to go, get it out, yell it out. All right, here's the repeating word for this week. I can't put it I could go back and put it in the title afterwards, but it's already about reflection. But integrity that's come up twice now. Stay in integrity. Again, making sure, like, it's really coming through strong. It's like, if you're going to have any practice around this moon, in particular for these next little bit, this next week, 2 weeks, whatever, is like knowing thyself. Know who you are, what you stand for, where you want to go, what needs to be brought up more in your life. Really, like, and because it's the Virgo thing, it's like, write it down, lists, like, and what are you going to do to get there too? Like, so you want to be more at ease and have more grace in your life, or whatever it is. What steps are we going to take to get there? Like, how are we going to, like, circumvent the overthinking? And so it's like, it's planning and being in integrity, like making sure you're not just following the pack, right? You're just like doing things because everybody else is doing it. It's like, what rings true to you? It's about you finding those, finding that out in the next 2 weeks, and really being clear, and really being clear about it. That's integrity, like authenticity and integrity. So that's your moon homework, is really know yourself in the next 2 weeks, and like what you want and what you stand for, and all of those good things that we just talked about. But when a word comes up twice, it's like, it's pretty much like they're just like hammering us like on the head and saying, hey, you like hitting the nail on the head. Integrity is the word for this moon. Integrity. We also got the card of, I do that all the time. Accept responsibility. The moon's reflection. Oh, isn't that funny? Seriously, can't make this shit up, right? Accept responsibility. That's interesting too. But that's really a big part of integrity. Of integrity, though, and knowing yourself is accepting the responsibility of like how we got to this very moment in our lives. Like, everything we did, it's like everything we've done to and for ourselves, right? It may not feel it at the time, but it's not about, it's not like this person wronged me and the victim game. It's like, we have to stop playing that. It's like, as much as it hurts when we say this, it's like, we got ourselves here. We signed up for this. We got ourselves here. However that, like, wherever that here is. If we don't like the here that we're in, we have to, we actively have to change it. Nobody else can do that for us, right? And the best way forward with that is to make sure you know who you are. Make sure you know what you're heading towards, not just carrying on and carrying on. Because if we haven't done that work to figure out what's important to us, the universe in the law of manifestation is just going to send you the garbly gook that you're sending it. So if you're not clear and you don't have your list and you don't know what's going, and you're just like blindly running along, you're going to keep getting garbly gook. Like, it's really important that we're precise, like that. Practical things too. Like, like, we're not wishing for like crazy out there stuff. We're being like vigilant in our like decisions to know exactly how we feel about things and what we want to feel about things. Yeah, the Virgo thing, attention to detail. So make sure it's just about knowing. That's really all it's about. All right. let's do 3. I use these as advice. So what advice do we have for this moon? I am going to draw one card, an overall card from the Christ consciousness. That's really amping up again too. So there's definitely like, it's really been interesting. Like there's always the talk of like the resurrection and those, and then the second coming, et cetera, right? That talk has been really ramping up again. But obviously, if you've been following me for a little while or watched anything that I've put together, it's so important that we really understand that this isn't a physical person that's coming back to save the world. This is an energy coming through our heart center, the consciousness, to shift the consciousness of this whole planet. And it happens through all of us. That is the point of this all. Okay. Is there 2? Yeah, okay. Okay, so advice cards this is kind of the message we've actually been getting for a few weeks now. So it's see the bigger picture, full moon in Sagittarius. So see the bigger picture. Again, it's funny because what was that word? Practicality comes up. Virgos are really practical. So it's us just like, again, pulling out of this, like, I watch so many people every week get sucked into these little, I can't say the word on here because you just can't say them. You can't say it on here. I don't have enough followers for them to, but they could still take down this video, so I won't say it. But there's orchestrated things to pull our attention away constantly. Distractions. We'll just call them distractions. We'll call them for what they are. There is like a 10,000 of them going on every single day. Like it's insane. So if you find that you've been like sucked into that, take a breath, step back, and see this what all those little things are for. Again, and we've talked about this before. Sometimes these things that are playing out in the world aren't for us. If you've already woken up to a certain degree, things are playing out in those ways to wake other people up. It's not for us. So sometimes us putting a bunch of attention on that really distracts us from doing our actual work. Yeah, and we've talked about this before. We also got Go For It, the Aries moon. Yeah, you know what? It's interesting because we had this discussion this week about mountains. And it was funny. I got, I should have read those. I'll read those as part of the week ones. I can't remember the Lenormand oracle. It's like really complicated. Like it's basically all symbology. So you kind of have to know your symbology. But I was just kind of playing around through it. And there was mountains. The mountain came up, and mountain in the description for them came up as obstacles and challenges and things to climb and overcome. But it was interesting because when I was doing a chakra workshop this week, the mountains, right, the chakras of earth, like 2 of them, one of them, the first one is in Mount Shasta in California for root chakra, and then we end crown chakra at mountains again at Kailash in Tibet. I'm getting into this mountain story because there's mountains in this card, and I think it's like, I don't view those as, those mountains are sacred, and the reason they come up as chakra points also is because they're portal points, and particularly portals to inner earth and all that sort of concept, but we won't get into that today. So it's like, I feel like we're being asked to really like map out our whole new way of being. So go for it for me means like change. It's changing. It's not just seeing the bigger picture. It's changing the perspective, right? So like instead of being in it, we come back and look at it. So for me, mountains, it's not an obstacle. Mountains aren't an obstacle. They're a beautiful thing. It's a portal to the new. So it's about really, yeah, changing perceptions this week for yourself too. It's like, and the funny part is right now everything is changing. Our belief systems are being shooken up and changed, and we're being asked to look at things in a different way, in a way that we were like, I didn't know it was that way. That's very interesting. Um, and so the best way for us to get through this whole like disclosure stuff that's coming is not to be like rattled and shocked by it, but to take a breath and go, okay, I can work with that. Or like it's not to be like so, we don't want to get so upset and like I don't even know the word, like messed up by it that we don't take the time to do the work of like building the new. I don't think I'm not totally explaining myself super well right now. Um, but yeah, we need to like uh, all the ways that are coming in that are new to us. We have to learn to integrate them and work with them. So it's like this is all new to us. We have to take the time to do the work, which is like if you got a job today, your job is now the universe. Um, but there wasn't, there isn't a manual necessarily, or it's a manual that's this thick, but we need to start figuring out how do we do this new job? It's all new and we have to figure out how to do it. So, we didn't come here to just watch a show. We're going to watch a great show, but we still have work to do in there. So we're just having that defined for us right now. It's not totally clear. So just keep doing the work. I know I say that every time, probably like broken record. Okay. And then the last card got, this is the easiest thing. Practice gratitude is the advice for this moon. Yeah. It's, it's, uh, it's just being grateful to be here now. And being grateful because the other thing is that we're not giving ourselves enough credit is like, we're like, we haven't done this before. Like, and so stop being really there's a really big emphasis on this about stop being so hard on yourself. Like we're all learning this. I don't even know what I'm doing. Like I am just like, some days I get up and I'm like, I don't even know what I'm supposed to be doing. Like, what are we supposed to be doing? I feel like we don't quite have all of our like papers in order. We haven't got instructions yet, or we're just waiting for some instructions. And I think they're forthcoming, but it's just like, hey, it's like, well, while you're waiting, just do the things that you've always done. Do the work, the gratitude work. Just keep doing that. It's practical and simple. Practical is that Virgo word again. Go back to the easy, the tried and true, and the things we know that work. And yeah, like I said, we're in this little holding pattern, but like this moon really feels like they do this to us every time. The universe, I'm saying they, whatever the power is, you get a break. You get like a 2-week break period so it's not that the energies coming in aren't going to be intense. And we'll be going through those daily, but the universe is saying this is a bit of a break time where you can get your lists in order, and do your double checks of what do I want to see, what's coming up. Because the other thing that happens to me is when I get so distracted by everything else is that I don't do the work. And then I find I'm like, oh my God, scrambling to, so I just always say to people like 5 minutes a day. 5 minutes a day. And it's not even about meditation. If you want to do 5 minutes of meditation a day, or just writing or contemplating or making lists, having gratitude, whatever those practices are, that's going to keep us the most grounded and sane through all of this. So instead of it keep instead of it keep rocking the boat back and forth, it's like steady the boat by taking a breath when they come up, which I think this 2 week period is going to be, and do some of the work. Really reflect on your life and yourself and what you want, and stop being so hard on yourself. I'm really talking to myself there. I'm just gonna. Where is that deck? Uh-oh. Now I won't be able to find it because I wanted to use. I also redid all my decks. I put them in different colored bags, and now I don't remember what anything looks like. No, not that. I think it must be this one. Of course, I can't find it now. Oh, there it is. Okay. Yeah, let's read one card to finish this up for the Christ consciousness for this moon. And like I said, this moon, it was yesterday. But I think just all these cycles of energy are just lasting for like anywhere from 4 to 5 days on either side. So almost the full 2 week period of time. So, all right, let's see what this, just funny. Okay, this card was flipped up and then it pushed out at me. So, spiritual practice is what we got. Nice little altar there with angels and crystals. Structure and routine. Yeah, it's what I just was talking about. The fact that I just dropped a bunch of cards on the floor. That's always a good thing. It's just like, make sure you're taking those 2 minutes a day, 2 to 5 minutes a day for yourself, if not more. If you've got the time, really use this 2 week period to reflect on and make your lists of, again, what is no longer serving? What do we want more of? What needs to be cleansed, purified within us, physically, mentally, spiritually. Use this time, because as we look and reflect on those things, that's part of the healing process. So we're using this week to heal as well, or 2 weeks to heal. And for some of us, part of that work is going to be this balancing out this masculine and feminine energy within us. And yeah, that's pretty much, I think, all I have to say. There's a pile of cards on the floor, and I'm just going to reach down and grab one out of it and see what we get. Okay, so we got also Lady Nada, which is expanded heart, openness, liberation, let yourself love and be loved. Good card. All right, on that note, we will leave it there. I will put the read up for the week probably sometime tomorrow. Oh, it's live, so I'll be doing that tomorrow sometime. And we'll take a look at what we need to look at. And I have a feeling it'll be pretty similar to what we just talked about now. So have a really good moon energy week and rest, and take this time to reflect and just keep doing the good work. We're doing a great job. We're going to be fine. Take care. I love you.